A new Mario Kart game has been confirmed. It could be called Mario Kart 9, it could be called Mario Kart 10, it could be called Mario Kart 24, although hopefully not, or Mario Kart Tour 2 Electrodrome Boogaloo, although hopefully not. We really don't know. We also don't know if this game will actually fulfill all our hopes and dreams, including ones of a certain golden masked god, or if it will crush them. It's time for my Mario Kart 9 wish list. In this sermon, I will be demanding what I want in the next Mario Kart game. These are demands, not wishes really. Calling it a wish list is just me being a merciful God. These are non-negotiables, Nintendo. Let it be known. Let's start off with circuit wishes. So it's theoretically impossible to predict nitro courses because they are new. I'm a god, so I probably could, if I wanted to know. But I'll be humble and relatable here and pretend I'm not for the sake of this sermon. I have a few nitro course suggestions. Moo Moo Mountain is one, the colder cousin of Moo Moo Meadows. It'll basically be the throat of the world, but with more cows and less annoying Nord pilgrim fetchers. Although keep the ice troll, we need something to separate the noobs from the gods. Maybe he can hurl you off the mountain if you're not careful. It'll go from Moo Moo Mountain to Red Mountain, because of all the bloodstains their harrowing deaths will leave behind. Screw the fact this is a family-friendly franchise. I want real grit in Mario Kart 9. No compromises on that. Also, throw in a blood moon over the sky, and you've got both the Morrowind and Zelda fans on board too. On a slightly off-topic note, replace Grumble Volcano with Red Mountain. Grumble Volcano sounds like a kid's toy. Red Mountain sounds a slightly sinister Disneyland ride, which is marginally better. I'm kidding, of course. Red Mountain is an epic name and not something the developers might have come up with at the last second. So for another nitro course suggestion, the kitchen sink. We have a bathroom circuit, we have a toy room circuit, we have multiple garden circuits. Where's the kitchen, I say? This would be in the vein of Powdered Toast Trouble from Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 1, but it's a circuit instead of a stage. Imagine sharp turns on dishes in the sink, leading you into a box of Yoshi Yammers if you're not cautious. That would be a cereal with 12 key B vitamins and questionable preservatives. The Yammers would be in the shape of Yoshi, because legally, everything Yoshi-related has to be in the shape of Yoshi for some juvenile OCD fetching reason. Nintendo, grow up. This running gag isn't funny anymore and is time-consuming as hell for your devs. Oh, and it would finish in a recycling bin as you crash into a container of a cheap microwave meal. Perfection. I'll throw in another nitro course to round out this section of the sermon. Dagoth Circuit. It's literally just Luigi Circuit from Wii, except the statue is of yours truly, and ash slaves and lava scatter the map. Maybe Akulakan is chilling in the back too. Let's move on. So what about retro tracks? I'll get the usual slightly predictable and a bit insufferable because of how much they are talked about suspects out of the way. Airship Fortress, Toad Factory, Dino Jungle, Wario Coliseum, maybe Daisy Hills too, there you go. That was exhausting. I also want a Wii-themed cup that is literally just Koopa Cape, Maple Tree Way, Coconut Mall, and Moo Moo Meadows. Double down on the Moo Moo, and thank me later, Nintendo. I also want Luigi's Mansion, but with ancestor ghosts showing up every now and then, and some bone walkers too. Give the kids playing this game some nightmares. Don't have much else to say on retros really, other than Baby Park must return for the sake of my need to have chaotic races where I can hardly process what the fetch is going on. With 24 racers, it will be insane. It'll make the War of the Red Mountain look like a civilized tea party. And bring back the Animal Crossing track, but you Nintendo and Woz better give us the option to choose the season. It is 2025. We should be allowed to choose a fetching variant for a fetching unique track. Obviously have a random option too. 5 options, Nintendo. Please remember this. My ash slaves will hunt you down otherwise. This is not funny, Nintendo. If I want winter and instead have to rely on the RNG and get fetching spring with the sakura blossoms or whatever, I will throw a tantrum worse than Baby Mario and friends. I like all the variants, but when I'm in a certain mood for a certain season, it is in my right as a citizen/god with basic human/mer rights that I should be able to fetching choose my preference. It's like giving someone a random flavor of ice cream instead of what they want. If they are allergic to nuts and you give them Snickers flavor, they die. You give me fall and I want summer, I die Nintendo. That logic checks out, trust me. Enough about retros, let's move on. So let's talk about items. The giant mushroom, which I'm pretty sure was introduced in the masterpiece that is Mario Kart Wii, must make its triumphant return. When I get an item box, I must know that there is a chance I can become a giant and Goomba stomp/flatten all who stand in my way. Why the fetch it didn't show up in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is beyond me. We also need a new item that replaces the Lucky 7 and Crazy 8 power-ups from previous games. We should now have a Nuclear 9. This would call in a nuke, Modern Warfare 2 style, and win you the race. Yes, it makes no sense and has no place in a Mario Kart game, but I don't fetching care put it in the game. It would be epic and would appeal to COD fans. Would there be a low chance of getting this? No. Not really. Nukes should be happening frequently and should break the game. If I'm mad that Dagoth Ur's red shelled me to 24th place, there should be a high chance I get a nuke when I hit the next item box and end the entire fetching race. That noobish noir deserves it. I have to say the nuke is a brilliant idea that is not flawed and utterly random at all. The feather item should be in regular races as well. I mean, why not? If I want to do a random spin, then let me. Bullet bills should also send people flying off the track. You've been hit by a bullet bill, not a Nerf gun pellet. It should hit you like a direct impact noob tube or a headshot from a Barrett 50 cal. Not much else to say on items. Just make them cool and memorable and bring back all the old ones. Everyone is here from Smash Ultimate, except it's with items. There's your selling point with Mario Kart 9. I also want better online. Bring in ranked play and have bronze, silver, gold, platinum, and god tiers. I would automatically be in the latter tier, obviously. Have daily challenges, like use feather 500 times in a single race or something. Maybe have certain cups be limited playlists for the week, or a batch of 4 tracks that match a theme. Ooh. Also be a limited playlist for the week. Like say have a tracks everyone hates playlist thing, which would just be tour tracks, I guess. Have a knockout tournament mode, a capture the flag mode, kill confirmed from COD, but with bombs and Yoshi coins instead of dog tags. I could go on, have more modes and more variety Nintendo, and ditch the fetching friend code system by Dagoth Ur, the one true god. If I see a hint of that, I swear I'll boycott this franchise for the rest of my long, godly life. Even thinking about it sickens me to my core and makes me feel a little nauseous. I also want open mic speakers in lobbies and in races. I want to trash talk noirs online. That is very much non-negotiable Nintendo. Blue shell me just before the finish line, and I want to let my opponents know who they're messing with. Moving back to the offline, we need a career mode/campaign. It's long overdue. I mean, fetching FIFA and Madden got campaigns before Mario Kart did Nintendo. You should be ashamed. The story does not have to be complex. It can be about Mario trying to win a tournament, or it can about Toad's quest to stop Joy-Con drift once and for all. By sacrificing Shy Guys in a blood sacrifice ritual, I don't care. Just make it good, make it fun, and make it intellectually and morally challenging. Just make it the next great American novel in Mario Kart form Nintendo. Not much to ask. Okay, let's talk characters. Don't know how it took so long to get to this part. Obscure characters like Ninja, Spike, and MC Ballyhoo need to show up. It's their time to shine, and they've earned it. Baby Waluigi needs to be a thing in this game as well. You have a lot to answer for Nintendo, for never including him in Smash. Costumes should apply to all characters, not just Yoshi and whoever else had costumes in Deluxe. I can't even remember. That's how small a part costumes played in Deluxe. In MK9, they should be plentiful and a big deal. The roster should be massive, as there are now 24 players, so I expect at least 2,400 playable characters. Only makes sense if there's that much. Oh, and once again, Funky Kong should have the best stats. He should be max in everything, really. Only a certain guest character named Dagoth Ur should be better than him, so I guess Funky Kong would be the second best. So what's the deal with guest characters? That's the opening line of my stand-up routine. I hope it landed. Link, the villagers, Isabelle, and the Inklings should return. Throw in Kirby, Samus, Captain Falcon, Pikachu, Olimar, Ness, Crash Bandicoot, Chibi Robo, Marth, Roy, Kratos, Aloy, Master Chief, and Ash Vampire number 5 for good measure. I could go on, but it would take a century, and I'm aware most people can't spare that. I guess we'll talk carts and parts now. I don't really care if parts return or not. Just allow me to have saved custom carts, so it doesn't take me a millennium to start up a match with the Dagoths. The humming and hawing over what wheels and gliders to choose needs to end. And now for some closing thoughts. Bring back all the gimmicks, even Double Dash's two-person cart gimmick, although I doubt that's happening now, especially with the doubling of the racers, and the fact it would crash even the Nintendo Switch 2's powerhouse hardware. I may or may not be sarcastic about that powerhouse part. I also expect there will be a Booster Course Pass 2 or something along those lines. That is a working title, of course. Get it, of course. Forget it. I do not need Camelworks levels of puns to make this sermon good. I want, no absolutely need, plenty of DLC for this game. We need it to keep ourselves occupied until the release of Mario Kart 10, or is it 11, if Tour counts, which will release in the year 3145 by my godly calculations. Have the DLC be filled with interesting nitros like, I don't know, the Heart Chamber, and disappointing retros like Donut Plains 22 and Mario Circuit DS, GBA, and whatever else for the billionth time. That way, once we get good retros, we'll be ecstatic. Actually, don't do that, Nintendo. Seriously, the whiplash was real with the Booster Course Pass. Be consistently good no matter what. Words to live by, Miyamoto and friends. A good DLC is forever bad, but a bad DLC is forever... What was I saying? Oh, and no cart armor, please. The Vietnam flashbacks of horse armor from Oblivion are back, and I feel on that note it's time to end this sermon before the image of cart armor appearing on the Nintendo eShop haunts me anymore. Think happy thoughts, Dagoth. Think about the Elder Scrolls 6. That's actually making things worse. That game is a century away. Fetching kidding me. I fall into that trap every time with my deep breathing enlightenment exercises. Anyway, I'm hyped for the next Mario Kart game and expect all my demands will be met. If they are not, I have every right to bitterly complain forever and be a literal blight on Nintendo for eternity. In the words of a certain golden-masked god, do not fetch this up. Time to play some Airship Fortress on Mario Kart DS. How the fetch did it not get remastered and Toad Circuit did?